basically this
Where's the
choroid-
third ventricle again?
third ventricle is around the thalamus.
Okay.
And this goes down
To the fourth one, which is here, right?
We have this infundibulum, which is pretty cool. Infundibulum recess, interthalamic adhesion. This is the cerebral aqueduct coming down from the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle,
Okay.
which sits between the pons and the cerebellum.
Okay.
And then you're just going to get into the spinal cord.
Spinal cord.
So this is where all that fluid is. So basically your whole spinal cord in your brain just sits in this watery state,
Okay.
so it doesn't
Yeah.
get pushed around. And this is that gap right here. This would be all filled with cerebral spinal fluid. The choroid plexus is right where your arachnoid is, and this is where the blood-brain barrier. This is what makes the cerebral spinal fluid. The choroid plexus constantly spills it out. Excess is filtered back into the bloodstream. Blood does not get into the cerebral at all, so this is your blood-brain barrier. You don't want blood in here. If you have blood in here, it's usually from an aneurysm or it's from the you're about to die, basically, an infection.
Okay.
This is why if you have these, doctors sometimes drill a hole right here to relieve pressure, because this is where they want to relieve pressure, all this space right here.
Okay.
Is your arachidoid granulations where cerebral spinal fluid can go out, but nothing can come out. This is a one-way path.
Okay.
So then it spills down here. You got a little choroid plexus here that also produces, and then it all kind of floats in there.
Yeah.
And this is if we just cut from the top of the brain. We're to make this cut right here.
Oh,
You
this is the
see-
top?
Yep. This would be looking down.
Oh.
Now, your thalamus is right here, and then this is going to be your caudate nucleus. It's going to spin around and give rise to the amygdala. So thalamus, liniform nucleus, globus pallidus, spins around, and then comes. So think of it like this. You have your thalamus right in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we take this out, then your caudate nucleus is going to come out, and then it's going to wrap around and spin right here. So think of it like a ram's horn. Come out, and then like this. That's pretty
And where
cool.
is that one?
This is this right here. So if we just pick this up, this looks like it's a right one. We'd pick it up and we'd put it inside the. So this is the thalamus here.
Mhm.
Thalamus is red. You'd have to take this off. Here's your thalamus. Your liniform nucleus and your globus pallidus are basically, or caudate nucleus, liniform. It's going to be right here, and it's going to spin up and then come out like this. It's dramatic. It actually comes up and it kind of comes like this because right here is the mammillary bodies, and your amygdala is going to be sitting somewhere. It's not identified on this model.
So where is the that thing that you just pointed out, the orange body?
You got it already. You can get that three-dimensional view of this. You can see how this is going to start layering itself. You're going to have the corpus callosum, as it is right here, and then coming, the corpus callosum is going to be sitting like this in the brain. So if you cut it like this, you're just going to see the front of the corpus callosum, which is right here. And of course, you got to imagine this comes out of the page, bows out like this, like it's doing here. And then here's the back. So as we cut this, we're not going to see, if we make a line right here,
We
we're not
just
going to
see
see
this,
any of
right?
that.
Yeah.
We're looking down on it.
Mm.
See how the caudate nucleus, liniform nucleus, and the thalamus are all deep in here, and they kind of circle. This part right here is going to be this portion.
Okay.
This part right here is going to be this portion. This part out here is going to be this portion, and then we haven't cut deep enough to see this portion. You can see how the A dash line is signified by this cut
Okay.
right here. And so if you cut one structure, which is just the ram's horn, if you cut it and look from the top, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. 2, 3, 4. And this would be lower part. This right here is going to be this portion, this little wing.
Okay.
So you see how you have to have a three-dimensional mind of your mind in your mind.
Your mind in your mind.
And you have to use your parietal lobe to get this three-dimensional spatial.
So much information.
So then if we take this and honestly flip the brain over, you start seeing this. And this is all diced up right here. But this is your hippocampus. This is looking from the bottom. Basically looking at the brain this way now from the bottom up. This is your hippocampus or your limbic system. See, the hippocampus comes down here, begins with the mammillary bodies, which is, mammillary bodies are right here. Those two little bodies there.
Okay.
So they're coming down like this. So if we take this one side out, that would be 69 as mammillary body. And then that's your optic chiasm. So just south of that, it's going to be.
Okay.
And this mammillary body is this right here. So if you were to cut this from the side, and you just see the side of it, and then see how the fornix should come up. And of course, you can't see it on this model, but the fornix is like a claw, like this, and it's going to like claw over
Okay.
this caudate nucleus here. You can see this clawing action.
Now, where is... Oh, this part right
That's your
here.
hippocampus.
Oh, okay.
So you think of your brains right here. Hippocampus comes out like this. So it starts with the mammillary bodies, comes up, and then shoots out, and that would be your hippocampus.
And where's your hippocampus on here?
Is not on here.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can't see it from the sagittal cut, since these projections are coming. If you were to look from this, your hippocampus would be right here, and it actually like twist out to here.
Okay.
So what I'm doing with my action,
So you'd have to cut it like that?
if you cut it like this, then you might be able to see
Half of it.
Cutting it here, you would only see this body of the fornix. Cutting it here, you would see the commissure of the fornix plus the hippocampus. Cut it here, you'd see the fornix, the amygdala bodies, the body of the fornix.
Just depends.
Cut it here, you would see the mammillary bodies and the body of the fornix and the columns.
Okay.
Seen from the bottom,